Thank you, everyone. This is Benyarko. I'd like to take time to thank my subscribers and viewers for their support. Today's lesson, I'll be going over Barry Harris's 6th diminished technique. It's a scale of chords, and it's used to create movements and jazz standards. Um, so let's dive right into it. If you look at a regular C major scale, okay, apart from the octave, the C, you have just 7 notes, and that is uneven. And since the bebop players used to play in 8 notes, they wanted to even out the scale. So what they did was play or invent a bebop scale which was more even. So you have the major bebop scale, which is the C scale with just the sharp 5 added to it. Now, to harmonize the scale with chords and create harmony, what they did was take a C major 6. Now, what is a C major 6? We have a C, an E, a G, and an A. Okay? Now, if you look at the C major 6, the outer notes belong to the C diminished, which is... So these outer notes belong to a C diminished. And the inner notes, which is a E and a G, belong to the C sharp diminished. Okay? Now, there's one diminished that is not there in the scale. And what that diminished is a D diminished. Okay? So when you have a C6 and a diminished, you get the C bebop scale. Okay? Another way to kind of visualize it, I have a C6, okay? The C, the E, the G, and the A. If I play the diminished chord in between that, all those notes spell out the C major bebop scale. Okay? And what Barry Harris did to harmonize that scale was to play the first note of the scale in chords as a C6, and to play the next chord as a D diminished, and to play just inversions of those chords until he got the sound of the major bebop scale. So it would sound like this. So all I'm doing there is C6, D diminished, C6, D diminished, C6, D diminished, C6, D diminished, C6. Now Barry Harris invented that after being influenced by a lot of players who did use this kind of technique. One is George Shearing. In terms of piano players, there's Milt Butner, Bud Powell used these, and even people like Art Tatum used this. If you listen to Art Tatum's How High the Moon, he uses this, and I showed that in my previous video where he does something like this. All right, so the chords I used in there were full of Barry Harris's chord of scales. Okay, just transposing G. So a lot of songs use that. So as I said, just practice your various variations of this song, of the scale. I'm sorry, of the scale. Practice all your variations of the scale, and always put the melody on top. And what I mean by that is make sure the melody is on the highest end of the song. All right. So the scale sounds like this with the chords. Now, if we transpose that to the key of B flat, the diminished sixth scale of chord will sound like this. We have a B flat 6, C diminished, 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 and back to B flat 6. So if we take a look at, let's say, the song Autumn Leaves, the beginning melody is this. So to harmonize just that, you can use Barry Harris's scale of chords, and it would sound like this. And that's just part of the A section. And you can use that in a lot of songs, you know, just by using the inversions and by transposing it. And another way Barry Harris is used to play that is to play a drop 2 version of it. And all that is instead of playing the octaves, okay, so you have a C here, and a C here, and the C major 6 in between there. Okay? So that's playing the scale with octaves. But instead of do that, what he would do was to take the second to last note of the scale and put it in the bottom. Okay? And play the scale that way. Okay? And what that would do is just give it a much different sound. Okay? Now using the drop 2, again, that is instead of playing the 6th diminished scale in octaves, whereby you double the octaves, so you have a C and a C, and you double all the octaves, he would play that and then drop the second to last note. And that is the sound that you will get. Okay, and it gives it a much different sound. And so, and you know, very in a very different way, he found a way to harmonize all these songs. You know, take a look at "Have You Met Miss Jones," right? So that is a 6th diminished harmonization. Okay, and by using that harmonization, you would get a much different sound, you know. So just practice that 6th diminished scale. Practice the 6th diminished scale of chords. practice the drop 2 scale of chords. You know, and practice it in different scales. And basically, that is the Barry Harris 6th diminished scale technique. Now, as you play different standards, try and harmonize the melody lines with it, and you'll be able to, you know, create new sounds. Now, for detailed lessons again, or any inquiries, just email me at kbenyarkomusic@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to answer your questions.